Well, it's been a while since we named another honorary member for the CFCAO, and it's high time we did. And I'm super excited to be speaking today to our latest honorary member, Alena Gadoury. And boy, I mean, we went a long way for this one. We went way far for this one. Australia, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm coming live from Australia. It's we're a day ahead, so I'm in the future, right?
Oh,
And it's so
this is
mm.
very time travel. That's fantastic. Well, first of all, just before we get into chatting about all sorts of things, congratulations on being named our latest honorary member.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an honor, right? It's a quite humbling experience. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you are a former Hamilton Tiger Cat cheerleader, as am I.
Yes.
So it's like a sisterhood thing going on.
Yeah, I
And
love it.
after all these years, you are now you're a veterinarian, and you it goes beyond being a veterinarian.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about all of that in just a sec. But first, I'm going to take you back. I'm going to take you back to uh, your time as a cheerleader in the CFL. Now, tell me a bit about your background. What led you to want to be on that field?
Oh gosh. Yeah, so it is it's a like thinking in the past. So I started dancing when I was super young, right? I was dancing I think, like from 5 years old onwards, and then I was also doing gymnastics, and I was that kid that was, like tap, jazz, ballet, gymnastics, everything, right? And so um, during that time, yes, very passionate about just that like self-expression and everything like that. And then I met Ray. So yeah, she was one of my teachers, and what a fabulous human she is, Rayanne. And so she helped me obviously in my dancing and evolve within myself then. And then she was also involved in coaching. At that time, it was called the Prowl, the Cat cheerleading team. And so when I was able to, I tried out for the team and yeah, became a cheerleader for the Cats in 1998. And I was on the team for just 2.5 years. So
You were there for a key year. You were there for a Grey Cup, the Grey Cup year.
it's honestly this experience, being elected to be an honorary member and then becoming has taken me down this like memory lane,
Oh
which has
yeah.
been really fun. I actually I grabbed some of the Grey Cup stuff that I still
Oh,
have because it was just like, and it's obviously meaningful. Like I had that reflection where it was like, okay, this is meaningful. I've carried this around, like I've moved several times, different countries, and it's
mhm.
traveled with me, right? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so I was there for the 99 Grey Cup, when the Cats went against the Stampeders. I remember so much about that day. Like, I was cheeky. I actually snuck a little camera on the field. I think I held it under my
Ooh.
pom-poms. I don't know how I got it on the field, but like when they won, yeah, I had a couple pictures from the field, and oh, just it was such an incredible experience. Yeah, during that time. Mm.
And it's going back a lot of years now, yet it's got to seem like yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's like it's a funny one because it's like yeah, it really does. Like it took me back to that moment, right? When I was searching through my stuff and found like I've got it here. I've got like the great like the hat.
Good
I
for
still have the
you.
hat and the
Oh,
what's the
wow.
agenda, everything, the booklet, and yeah, so it really did like capture that moment in my memory to be like, wow, I am a part of this and a part of something. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing. And good for you for keeping
Mm.
that stuff because I mean, there are people who pay a fortune for that, but that you can't part with that. That's memories. That's something really special. Wow. What are some of I mean, obviously the Grey Cup, but are there any other really marked memories in your mind from like maybe your first time on the field or something that went on in the first year or so that just stays with you as a big memory?
Oh, there's several to be honest. Like I think that because really the first time on that field, like we as a like we had done the halftime show kind of thing.
Oh
Like this
yeah.
was before cheerleading, and so it was just like being a part of a huge crowd in an event, which was amazing. And then when I started cheerleading, I think there's many moments. So there was like the yeah, just being on the field, especially for that Labor Day weekend game, like
Oh,
that
best
is
game.
epic, right? And then the just traveling. So like I remember going to Montreal to an Argonauts game and what that was like and just how fun it was, right? I've got so many memories just from that one trip alone. And yeah, just the feeling of like I said, being a part of something.
Mhm.
And there was a couple like news articles and I remember we did like a little fashion show and everything like that. And so just all
Mhm.
of those little things add up to um memories in time that you just start to reflect on and you're like, oh yeah, that was really cool that I was a part of that. So
And it's something that's really special. It's something that I know I think about. I know a lot of our members think about that, now being an alumni, looking back on your memories that you have and actually being a cheerleader for any of the teams in the CFL, it's a very kind of exclusive little club because I mean, there's not a lot of people when you really think about it. Over all these many years, it's still a kind of a real special thing to belong to.
Yeah, yeah, no, it is. And it is something that yeah, like you said, you've captured it so lovely where it's a really special thing to belong to. Like
Mhm.
it's not just in that moment, in 98 and 99, like once I had to actually exit the team because I broke my leg. So it's like, or else I would
Yeah.
have continued kind of thing. And so even that, it's like, even though I had to, depart from being a cheerleader for Tie Cats, there's still, I still get the invites for the alumni meetups and all of
Mhm.
these things where you just become a part of something. So,
Like family. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I was going to ask you though, so
Yeah.
your time as a cheerleader did come to an abrupt halt. Now,
Yes. Yeah.
while you were cheering, were you already in school to pursue what you're doing now?
No, no. So my career has never been a straight line, which in hindsight, it's like that's the fabulous strength of these experiences that I've had. So I actually started off as a registered nurse. So I did a
Mhm.
degree and became a registered nurse in adult mental health and pediatrics.
Mhm.
And looking back at kind of that journey itself, it's like, from there, that's where all that appreciation for connection and, uh, helping people feel seen and heard through some of their most vulnerable moments happens in those kind of situations, right? As a registered nurse. Then I traveled to Australia and became a vet. And so certainly I am a very curious person and I really like understanding things. And
Mhm.
so when it comes to clinical experiences and stuff, it was like I needed to lean into really understanding, what is medicine and diagnosis and treatment and all of those kind of medical pathways that help us through disease and illness and everything like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, I just did that practice both in Canada and Australia. So I've kind of built my career across the different countries and different networks and everything like that. And
Yeah.
um, then yeah, kind of if you look at just how that all intersects into where I am now,
Mhm.
where, I'm now kind of I've brought all that kind of caring and advocacy and community um, things that I like about humanity and people and everything like that, and brought it into now a different kind of passion where my whole entire career is built around, you
Mhm.
know, caring for or trying to understand, why caregivers struggle and how to prevent the struggle in people. So, uh, yeah, with education and suicide prevention and being
Yeah.
a researcher. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, the suicide prevention part I thought was because there's something, and I guess it's the stereotype we always hear that dentists, that there's this an issue with suicide in dentists, but I never thought of it for veterinarians. But so that is
yeah.
actually something that the veterinarian profession experiences.
Hugely. So,
Really?
yeah, and it's definitely one thing that, yeah, many people in the community don't really understand,
Hmm.
why or that it's actually a thing. But yeah, the veterinary community, the profession itself, does, yeah, have a high rate of suicide. And it's not just, in Australia, it's global. So
Hmm.
there's many people around the world that I'm speaking with and networking with and everything like that to try and address the suicide, to try and prevent suicide within our
Yeah.
professions, understand it better, right? So then we can really look at, you know, um, creating safety and well-being within our own communities, our veterinary communities, and yeah, encourage early help seeking and decrease stigma and all of those
Yeah.
kind of things that help. Yeah.
Like when I was reading your background and I thought I'd never thought of it, never heard of it, yet I get it. I mean, you see a lot and you see the great stuff. You do the healthy pet checks and the new puppy, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
you see the cruelty, you see the illness, you see a lot of things that makes it tough. I mean, emotionally, before we actually came on this call, we were talking off camera
Yeah.
together and about, I mean, just having to deal with my pets at the end of their lives, and it's heartbreaking. It's gut-wrenching.
Mhm.
It's something that stays with you. So when I started reading about you and I thought about that, I thought, I kind of get it. I understand why there's a problem. No.
Yeah, yeah, thank you for shining a light on that, right? Because certainly the different stressors that vets are faced with on a daily basis, it's kind of like the yes, you do see your puppy consults and they're really happy,
Yeah.
but then also there's a lot of stuff that's guided by what the owner's capacity is and how that can shape or help the animal, but it might
Hmm.
not be, right? And it's called moral injury. There's a lot of, we're seeing a lot of moral injury, and that's part of my research and stuff as well within the space where it's not just the um, um, it's wanting to do something for that animal but not being able to. And
Yeah.
when we think about vets too, it's not just pets, right? We are so big in the community. So, you know, like think about COVID and SARS, like vets
Oh my
were a part
gosh.
of that. We think about like, public health concerns and
Hmm.
protecting, biosecurity and the meat on your plate and, the milk in your
Yeah.
coffee. Like vets are involved in so many dynamics in the world. And yeah, certainly there's not a lot of support to try and help us through all of these different demands and roles that we have and everything like that, which then leads to, being overworked. There's lots of different stressors. One that's part of my research is finding out, what are the stressors that are happening and how can we start to navigate through that to create a sustainable solution for ourselves because really, like I said, it's not just our
Yeah.
pets. It's the economy and the ecosystem that we play a part in. So
Yeah. It is. I'm so glad I mean, just before meeting you and reading and then talking to you is opening my eyes. It's something that I think we need to appreciate. I mean, I appreciate my veterinarian, but you don't think about the bigger picture. And it's more than just seeing my dog or my cat.
yeah.
There's so much more there. So, and you mentioned research. Now, are you primarily now a frontline veterinarian or are you primarily a researcher? Do you do both?
Yeah, so I wear many hats. So yeah, my research, my PhD is full time. So I'm doing full time PhD, researching suicide prevention within Australia for the vet population, and then I've always got all these little side projects happening. So certainly trying to create some networks overseas with different researchers in this space in other countries. And
Mhm.
then I am a registered vet, and so I do practice here and there, but it's mainly to do end of life care in the home
Mhm.
for people. And then I also co-founded a suicide prevention program for the vet industry that's national and extending actually internationally. So we've been speaking with, Canada and the Canadian Vet Medical Association and everything like that, because certainly we like um, within every different community that has vulnerabilities and struggles, it's, having the people around them that understand, that have been in the trenches, kind of feel.
Yeah.
And so, how can we create safety and support networks around, our vet community? So created a space for that as well. So and I
Wow.
do that full, like I direct that. So yeah, it's
It's impressive. And
so
I can feel the passion coming off you
yeah.
for the work you do. You can tell you absolutely love it. When
Mhm.
relating it back to what you took from even before being a cheerleader, being a dancer and being on the
Yeah.
field, being a cheerleader, what kind of skills did you bring with you? What translated from that time into what you do now? How do you use what you learned?
Yeah. Oh, and like I have a passion for that translatable skills. Like
Mhm.
certainly when I mentor people for like, that are feeling lost within the profession and everything, it's like we develop all of these things that can help us through. And so yeah, I think like when I reflect on stuff like that, I think about like all the non-tangible skills that are really important in um, workplaces and communities and showing up. So certainly, like if you look back at the dancing aspect, it's
Mhm.
like the discipline, right? You create discipline and routine for yourself, and all of that stuff can be translated into your project managing skills or
Yeah.
all of that. Or being in front of crowds, like and showing different vulnerabilities that way, because you've got certainly many people that will either be criticizing you or cheering you on, and so it's like holding spaces for both of them to have their opinion and respect that opinion, right? And so certainly, that translates into, geez, what do I do now? Because like, I present at conferences, I do webinars, I do all these different things that certainly people will have their opinions. And so you start to create kind of, that space, like I said, for both of them,
Mhm.
for the people that want to cheer you on and not. Teamwork, certainly
Yes.
like reflecting on even, when you are competing as a dancer and you're doing a solo and you're the only one on stage. It was never just you, right? It was
Oh,
always a
yeah.
team that creates that to happen. So it's your dance teachers,
Mhm.
it's, the people within the competition space that are actually running the event. Like there's always people that are involved in all of these things that we show up for. And so it's like really appreciating, who's helping you along the way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like that kind of translates
Yeah.
into that and just yeah, I guess that yeah, leadership and everything too, right? And kind of just carving your own path.
It's
So
true. It's amazing
yeah.
to think that, maybe when you first step into it, it's fun, but boy, we take a lot out of it. We really do.
Mm,
And I
yeah,
know I take a lot of too, and it stays with you and it makes you it's a big part of kind of molding who you become, which is really cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Now, here's a question for you.
Yep.
How often do you get back to Canada and do you ever get to any football games?
Yeah. Well, um, it's funny because like I used to always try and come back every year to year and a half.
Hmm.
And then, like and I kind of bounce between Canada and Australia because
Mhm.
I've got dual citizenship now. So it's like it doesn't matter where I am. It's like both are home.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just came from Canada in October.
Mhm.
And so the plan is I've actually submitted some things to do like talk at a conference in Canada in 2027. So
Oh, nice.
I'm definitely, yeah, yeah. Yeah, do some lectures as well as workshop. But yeah, hopefully I'll definitely be back then. But hopefully I can sneak back sometime this year because I do like trying to come and,
Mhm.
like I said, every year to year and a half. So yes.
Well, if the Tiger
Um,
Cats make the Grey Cup, maybe
oh yeah.
you should come for sure. It'll be fun.
Oh, that would be like
Oh,
phenomenal. Where is it this year? Where's the
it's in
Grey Cup being held?
Calgary. It's in
Oh,
Calgary.
sweet. Yeah, well, and that's where like so you some of the suicide prevention skills training
Hmm.
is all Living Works, and Living Works is I joke about they're born and raised in Canada and so was I.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like they're world renowned, and um they yeah, Calgary is my other home because I used to live in Hamilton, but I
Hmm.
also lived in Calgary as well, so I've got a whole bunch of connections and everything back there.
Yeah, it's great. My youngest daughter lives there now, so I love it. And so I'm
Oh
excited to
yeah,
go there for Grey Cup this year.
yeah.
Little family connection.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
yeah, one of these days, I'd love to meet you in person. Maybe I'll just go to Australia. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's beautiful.
but I like to ask everybody that's an honorary member at the end of the interview is if there was a young person, now there's we have a lot of co-ed teams now. So a young girl, a
Yeah.
young guy that's maybe thinking about it and a little nervous, what would you say to that young person who is thinking about trying out to be on a CFL cheer and dance team?
I I would encourage them to really just lean into the discomfort. If they're feeling it, just lean into it. Like one of my sayings to myself would be like get comfortable with the uncomfortable, right?
Hmm.
So if they're feeling uncomfortable, lean into it. You never know where an open door will take you.
Hmm.
And you can't like you don't know unless you try, right?
Hmm.
So one of the things that I like to share with others. It's like the way I approach life is the worst case scenario. It's like, what's the worst case scenario? You try out and either, you don't make it, but if you really do want it, it's not a no, it's not right now, right? It just you
Yeah,
keep trying. If you make it and you like it, great. You wouldn't have known unless you tried,
that's right.
right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, we can't like a lot of people think these black and white, and it's like, no, get into
Mhm.
it, lean into it. Like there's the experiences that I have had just out of that curiosity, like be
Mhm.
curious. I guess that if I was going to say one thing to a young person, it's just like be curious and keep that
Yeah,
curiosity because it leads to just so many beautiful places.
it does.
So yeah,
And it opens a
yeah.
lot of doors.
Hugely, yeah,
It
yeah,
really
and
opens
things that you would
doors.
never think, yeah, that you would never realize that, you know, would be important to you. So, yeah.
Amazing. Well, it's been awesome talking to you. And I want to say once again, welcome and congratulations for being our honorary member with the CFCAO. You are an amazing woman, and we are thrilled to have you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I really do appreciate it.